So recently there was a article written about Natalie Portman in that she spoke about how the Holocaust is very much emphasized in Jewish life and culture, and she said it's gotten to a point where it's an obsession is detrimental, which I happen to agree with. She was attacked by many people, but I actually agree with Natalie Portman. And that aside, I really like Natalie Portman. I think she's great. She does a lot of charity. She's very intelligent. She speaks, I think, 4 or 5 languages. She lives in France. Well, that's like a little like negative. Like, who wants to live in France? But overall, Natalie Portman is a very well-rounded. She gives charity. She got involved in Finca, and people are like attacking her, like what Jews are attacking her, like what's the matter with you? Why are you saying that we're overemphasizing the Holocaust? We have to learn from the past. But the reality is that I think she's very right on this. We've overemphasized the Holocaust. We've guilted people into being Jewish just because of the Holocaust, and it shouldn't be like that. Instead, it should be that we're Jewish because we like to be Jewish, because we're proud to be Jewish, and because we want to be more connected to God, and that's why we want to continue our traditions.
Well, I'd say what really bothers me and annoys me is that is when we and I also agree to a large extent with Natalie Portman, because what happens is the first thing we do in Israel when people come, when dignitaries come and they visit us, and the first place we take them before anything else is Yad Vashem, which is a Holocaust memorial. And yes, it's important. It's important to understand what happened. Yes, we get it. But I would, if it was up to me, the first place I would take them is I would take them to the Kotel. I would take them to the Temple Mount, and I would explain to them and show them that of why the Temple Mount is our holiest site, and why that is a central piece of our heritage as a culture, as a people. That's what I would do, and I would have Yad Vashem on my list, but I would take them first to the Temple Mount, and I think that it's a big mistake because what happens is that what we do is we go ahead and we say, well, we have a state of Israel here because of what happened to a tragedy to our people in a completely separate continent. And this actually works against our cause here in Israel. Because a lot of people will rightfully ask, well, if Germans and Austrians went ahead and persecuted you, and this is an argument made by the former Iranian president Ahmadinejad, why don't you take some land from them? And obviously, obviously I don't think that should be the solution, but it's a in some ways it's a legitimate question
Very
that's
logical.
posed. It's a very logical question. You get persecuted there. Why do you have to come here and be here when there's a bunch of people here already? And that's why I say no. The reason we have a country here has nothing to do with the Holocaust. Has absolutely nothing to do with the Holocaust. The reason we have a country here is because this is our homeland. This is where we belong, and we have a right to be here. And that's that. It's not because of the Holocaust. It's because we're here. This is in our homeland, and that's the cause that we should be focusing on. Not the Holocaust, but focus on how to build our country and our own future here. And that's something that we should take from what Natalie Portman said.
Overall, we have to also understand that when somebody has a different opinion, you don't attack her personally. And she had a right to say what she said. And I also agree with her statement that the Holocaust is way overemphasized in Jewish culture. And I think in general, we should be able to accept other people's opinions. And, obviously, if you disagree with them, disagree, but not attack them personally.